We're the service that the nation looks to, along with our sister services, but certainly in the Air Force. We're looked at to break barriers, to find the opportunity in every challenge that we're given, to think globally, to take the big bets and make those and find those game-changing technologies that actually change the nature of warfare. And we can never forget that while the machines are important, it's the airmen that get it done. What we need to do is actually get out, talk with airmen, talk with families, and make sure we know what's on their minds, and then take action on the really good ideas that are out there. So for me, squadrons is so important, because that's where, these young airmen who graduated today, who will go on to tech school training, get their badges, they will join a squadron. And it's in the squadron that we're going to really inculcate and build on what they've done here at training, at basic military training, to ensure that they have the culture and the ideals and the values of what it means to be an airman. It's going to be that squadron commander and first sergeant that's going to have the most impact on their lives. It's where we're going to build readiness. It's where innovation happens. It's where we succeed or fail as an Air Force. For the Secretary and I, as we've taken a look at our Air Force, as we focus on the readiness of the force, the number one shortfall that we have is trained people. People didn't come into the Air Force to sit. They came in the Air Force to fly. They came in the Air Force to fight. They came in the Air Force to win. They came in the Air Force to be able to do the missions that we've asked them to do. And so if you walk the line at Bagram or Kandahar, or you walk the line at Kunsan, you're going to find very high readiness, and you're going to find very high manpower numbers, and you're going to find a force that's ready to fight tonight and is engaged in the fight tonight. But the bill payer to get that level of readiness are bases back home, where very often we see 67% manning, where we see triple duty going into individual wings that are being tasked. So my concern is to ensure that we build the readiness up. And to build the readiness up of our Air Force, it starts with people. Trained airmen in their primary Air Force specialty codes, AFSCs, who can do the mission of the United States Air Force, both here in the homeland, to protect the homeland, and also deployed and based forward to accomplish the missions that we do, as part of the joint team. These MTIs, these military training instructors who represent the best airmen in our Air Force, they take these young recruits, who come here wide-eyed, as individuals, and they mold them and they train them, and through persistence, through passion, through perseverance, and basically through real professionalism, they turn them into the formations and teams that walked across that parade ground today. Every 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, somewhere on the globe, we have an aircraft that takes off or lands every 2.5 minutes, 24/7, 365, to deliver critical supplies or personnel when and where they're needed. Many of those bases are in undergoverned or ungoverned spaces and are not secure. And it's our battlefield airmen that we rely on to ensure that we can continue to operate globally. And all of the missions they perform, whether you want to talk about combat controllers or our TAC-Ps or our personnel or our PJs, or they are combat weather, these battlefield airmen are operating in some of the most dangerous places on the planet. And so bringing that training together under one group here at Lackland is a move to ensure that we build on the synergies of what these airmen do and ensure that they have the very best training they can going forward. I wear these stars for them, because I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for some incredible airmen who risk everything to come yank me out of bad guy land, some years ago. And their motto, these things we do that others may live, who knew on that night back in 1999 that they'd be rescuing somebody who had become Chief Staff of the Air Force. I certainly didn't. As an officer, you never know when you're going to have an experience in your career where all your training, all of the time that you've spent preparing and some young airmen who are going to risk everything to come pull you out of enemy territory, a burning vehicle, an aircraft. You know, you never know when that day is going to come. All you can hope for and pray for is that you're worthy of their risk. And so I was honored to spend some time with them. You know, the best advice I can give you is welcome to the journey of impeccable character. If you're going to succeed in the profession of arms, it'll be because you continue to work on character. And I don't think it's actually a destination. I think it's a journey that we're all on throughout our career. You know, how we act, what we say, what we do, how we act when nobody's watching. Especially for leaders, for airmen, it starts and ends with character. And then once you've got that right and are on that journey, and we're on that journey together, then it's all about competence. You know, we are expected to be able to deliver air and space power, to own the high ground, to ensure that we have freedom to maneuver and freedom from attack. And that's not only for us, that's also for the joint team. And that requires a level of competence that we've got to work towards every day. So that combination of character first and competence is what our nation requires in each of us as airmen.